Hi, my name is Tammy Blyman. I wanted to ask Mr. Laston if one of his staff members were to say that slavery is an opinion and not a historic fact that he could teach or he could feel comfortable teaching, if that staff member said to students, even in writing or even not in writing, that slavery is just a matter of opinion, it's not a historical fact, so we really can't be teaching it. I would like to know what his reaction would be to that and what the media outrage should be for an educator who would make a comment like that, whether in Palm Beach County or whether anywhere on earth. This is equivalent to what has occurred in terms of the history of World War II and the Nazi reign. It is no apology, too little, too late. Why would it take 2 years for someone to say, oops, slavery actually was a fact in history, oops?
Madam, sirs, my name is Elliot Friedman, and as a Floridian and a child of Holocaust survivors who had most of his family butchered by the Nazis, I'm appalled to see a Holocaust denier teaching children in Palm Beach. William Latson is either completely ignorant or an anti-Semite. In either case, a person like this has no business teaching anyone. This is doubly infuriating because there are numerous Holocaust survivors still alive in Palm Beach. Let us bring our education standards to where they need to be. Thank you.
I'm calling to voice my support for the resolution and the continued firing of William Latson, the former Spanish River High School principal, period. As a child of Holocaust survivors, it is unconscionable to me that he continues to deny the Holocaust, period. I hope that the board will have the courage to continue in what appears to be a flagrant violation of truth and justice. Thank you. Seth Kaufman, SECHKAUSMAN.
Hello, this is Dr. Heath Kane, 6306 Las Flores Drive, Boca Raton. I would like to vote no on the BRD 2. So I am opposed to the Holocaust denier, and I believe that's a no vote. Thank you very much. Bye.
Hello, this is Shirley, Waterstein Moskowitz, and Jacob Moskowitz. We live in Memphis, Tennessee. All four of our parents were Holocaust survivors. My in-laws were from Romania. My parents were from Poland. All of their families suffered and lived through the Holocaust. My father's entire family was killed in the concentration camps, and he was the only survivor in his entire family. And my husband's father was one of 11 children. He was one of only 2 survivors. And I will tell you that the Holocaust definitely happened, and anyone who says that it didn't and they're educating people should not be educating. The students all students should have education in Holocaust and what happened during the war and be educated.
Yes, my name is Daniel Gottlieb. I'm calling in regard to BRD2. I would like to give my opinion that William Latson should not be rehired. He should be terminated for his lack of knowledge that the Holocaust happened and his refusal to condemn those who support the Holocaust, or that he is not able to talk to the school board. He doesn't have to be accountable for his comments. Thank you. Again, he should be fired.
Hi, my name is Claire Kreitman, and I live in Century Village in Boca Raton, Florida. My husband was a Holocaust survivor. The Nazis came in the front door in September 1939, and my husband, as a 3-year-old child, had to flee to Siberia with his parents, who were separated. Everyone in his family was murdered. To say that the Holocaust didn't happen and to be rewarded with that comment with $152,000 of back pay is the most despicable, sad statement to the world we live in. My husband, before he passed away, made sure to imbue his 5 children with the idea that prejudice of any kind was intolerable because of what he. I hope you come to the right and very, very obvious decision. This person should be fired with no back pay. This is fire with cause.
This is Dorothy Goldwyn in Memphis, Tennessee. My parents, Paula Kelman and Mayor Kelman, both survivors of the Holocaust. My father's number was B1516, will go down in history. The Holocaust did happen. I live it every day. My grandchildren live it every day. And I am very upset to think that someone could be leading our students and being in charge to teach them by not defending that the Holocaust did happen. This is why our country is a mess, and we need to work hard to make every child realize that hate does not exist in this country, and we all must live together in unity. We need upstanders to lead our students. We need someone who will defend them and defend the honor of survivors. Thank you.
My name is Jordana Miller. My nephews are students in the Somerset School in Palm Beach. I would be horrified if they had a principal like William Latson. He is ignorant as well as anti-Semitic. This is not an individual who should be educating our children. Please, in the name of decency, do not rehire this individual nor pay him any back pay. This is not an individual who deserves to be in education. Let him work elsewhere. Thank you.
My name is Eric Ehrenheim. Thank you for allowing me to address you. I was born in Germany in 1925 and lived under Hitler until October 1939. At age 13, I witnessed the so-called final solution, which was to terminate every Jew. I am a witness to the infamous Kristallnacht, November 9, 1938, where my parents' department store and apartment were completely destroyed by the Nazis. I also witnessed the burning of our synagogue. My father and I were beaten and dragged to the local jail where I was confined until I was able to leave Germany on a children's transport to Sweden. My parents were not as fortunate. They were deported to Minsk and then to an unknown extermination death camp, never to be heard from again. Hello?
My name is Loretta Singer, and I live in Palm Beach County. The school board made a shameful decision by reinstating Mr. Latson's employment. Now they must do the right thing and terminate his employment. There are no rational excuses why the board should let a Holocaust denier remain in the public education system, a principal who used his position of power to negate the required curriculum of teaching about this horrific atrocity, who ridiculed a student's mother and who publicly stated that he cannot say that the Holocaust was a factual event. The board has the responsibility of ensuring that our children have the best and most appropriate education and only employ those people who will fulfill this mission. The board has failed but can correct a wrong. The board has failed but can correct a wrong by letting Mr. Latson go. Thank you.
Hi, this is Tivi Rabinowitz calling. I'm commenting on BRD2, the continuation for the meeting with Spanish River Principal. And I know he put out a statement denying that he's a Holocaust denier, but unfortunately that letter comes in too late and too little. The only reason he's saying I'm sorry and apologizing at all is because his life is on the balance here. He's bound to lose $150,000 and his status as a principal, because had he continued, had nobody made a fuss about this, he would have gotten his job back and $150,000 and no but we would have continued. So.
Hi, my name is Sherry Fuchs. I am calling in regard to the rehiring of Principal Latson. I am appalled that the board would even consider that. I can't believe that action wasn't taken against him for his lack of integrity, his lack of honesty, his lack of being an educator. The Holocaust is real. There's fact. There's people who were part of it. For him to take that position, especially as an educator and as a principal, to deny the Holocaust is appalling. It's not his personal opinion. Correct. He needs to be politically neutral. And by politically neutral, if he doesn't believe it, that's. But with documentation, we know it's real. Fire his butt. He doesn't deserve to get back pay. He doesn't deserve to be in that position.
My name is Shirley Berkowitz regarding agenda item BRD2. It is unconscionable that a self-proclaimed Holocaust denier be allowed to preside over an American public school. William Latson should be stripped of any educational post since he is fanning the flames of bigotry, hate, and anti-Semitism.
Hello, my name is Jimmy Scruggs, and I'm calling regarding the Holocaust comments by one of the board members, and I just find it hard to believe that somebody, anybody, in any position could have a position that this event in world history did not take place. I myself met a Holocaust survivor when I was in high school. It was the mother of one of my classmates, and her story was very, very moving. So I just don't understand how somebody could have the statement that this event did not take place. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon. My name is Matt Levin. I'm President and CEO of the Jewish Federation of South Palm Beach County. I'm calling in today to strongly urge the school board of Palm Beach County to not reinstate William Latson to any position within the Palm Beach County School District. He obviously, at this point, we believe, has forfeited that right. His apology notwithstanding, his license doesn't allow him to change the facts or change the curriculum for our school children. History must be taught based on facts and through the clear lens of empirical evidence that has been designed to teach our children about these tragedies. The school board of Palm Beach County should be listening to the public and send the loud, powerful message that they not deviate from the curriculum and not deviate from the facts and teach our children about racial equality and anti-Semitism and the evils that.
My name is Barbara Samuels. This is in protest over your rehiring of Principal Latson. No man on earth should be rehired and permitted to teach in a classroom that the Holocaust did not happen, because it did. Even the German government acknowledges that it happened and has voiced their regrets and sorrow over many, many years. The families of people who survived these atrocities and the families of loved ones will never forget. This man does not deserve to be teaching in your school system. Please, please get him out. Thank you.
My name is Oliver Salem. Dr. Latson's apology was the most contrived repentance I ever heard. I would rather he spoke from the heart than from a piece of paper. How difficult is an apology from the heart? It should just flow, especially from someone that is allegedly so smart that he needed a piece of paper to supply the tone that should have come natural for a sincere apology. The fact that he did not speak out initially vociferously about Holocaust denial and instead ducked and hid from the problem and its consequences is someone that is A, not a stand-up person, and B, appears too comfortable in his position to not expect fallout from expressing the wrong opinion. Kind of acting arrogant and Teflonish. I think he'd never be called a I question his confidence and credibility. The world has one too many bad educators if he keeps his job. We all make mistakes, sometimes with permanent risk.
My name is Judy Brody. I'm calling in reference to Principal Jackson's denial of the Holocaust. I can affirm that my father lost his wife and 2 children and many siblings in the Holocaust. So how dare he deny the Holocaust? It is beyond reprehensible. I am totally disgusted with the whole issue. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tanis Poor. I am calling from Michigan. I am calling regarding agenda item BRD2. I think that the guy needs to be fired, and you just leave it at that. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Michelle Shimwig. I am from Missouri, and I am calling regarding agenda item BRD2. Please do not reinstate. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Carol Himmelstein. I am calling regarding the Holocaust, the firing of William Latson, former Spanish River High School teacher. I'm regarding agenda BRD2. I'm the daughter of a Holocaust survivor, and I implore that you please include Holocaust education and make it a priority. Thank you.
Hello, my name is R.H. Hudgens, Hudgins. I am calling in response to the Principal William Latson. It seems to me he has tried to grow and learn from this, and he's being unduly prosecuted by Christian organizations. And I am a Christian myself. He is trying to do the right thing. I hope he will not be punished further. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Gary Middleman from Pennsylvania. I'm calling regarding agenda item BRD2, and I'm calling to support the firing of William Latson, the former Spanish River High School principal who refuses to acknowledge that the Holocaust exists. Thank you.
Hi, I'm calling about agenda item BRD2. My name is Lisa Kaufman. I'm calling from Memphis, Tennessee, and I just think it's reprehensible to consider rehiring this man, and that we always must fight hate and never change history and try to learn from it. Thank you.
Hi, this is Elena Kaufman from Pennsylvania. I'm calling regarding agenda item BRD2 and support the firing of William Latson. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tracy Rapp. I am calling from Memphis, Tennessee. I am calling to vehemently oppose the hiring of William Latson, the former Spanish River High School principal. I'm vehemently opposed to rehiring him. He is a Holocaust denier, and in defense of all those that died in the Holocaust, which will be many of my friends and their family, I think that it is absolutely disgusting that this man could be rehired and reinstated. Thank you.
My name is Adrienne Moskowitz. I'm from Boca Raton, Florida, which is Palm Beach County. I'm calling with regard to the possible reinstatement of Dr. William Latson. I heard his apology and saw his apology. I do not believe that that is sincere. Regardless of whether it was sincere or not, the damage that was done to his credibility and his authority as an educator has already been done. I don't believe that he should be responsible for teaching our children, certainly when he cannot verify historical truth
it is his responsibility to educate children, not to impose.
This is Shirley Portnoy from Delray Beach. I am very concerned of Mr. Latson's future ability to influence education of children. This, to me, what he did is like saying, yeah, there were no slaves. Abraham Lincoln didn't do anything. Why would we even read about slaves? Is there even a reason to read history at all? It is very scary and sad for people who lost people in the Holocaust to have somebody like him working in the school board.
I am a former educator. My name is Dorothy Portnoy, and I never encountered anyone who is so uneducated as this principal is. He's despicable, and how would he feel if a member of his family were killed and all those people were innocently killed? I mean, he should not be reinstated, should be banned from ever going anywhere near teaching or any decent job. He should be banned forever and should not be permitted to be where he shouldn't have people deciding if he should be kept or not kept. He should actually be left out because he's the most uneducated person.
My name is Marilyn Cohen. My mother and father were Holocaust survivors. My mother lived off drinking her own urine and eating potato peels for years. She was constantly beat. My grandparents, my aunts, my uncles were all murdered by the Nazis. This is a very personal issue. Any educator who has no belief or understanding of the Holocaust should not be a principal of a high school. I implore you not to rehire him. Thank you.
Please do not reinstate the principal of the Spanish River High School. My name is Marilyn Friedman, and this is for the agenda BRD2. I'm appalled at his response, and I don't believe this man should have this position. Thank you for listening to me, and please record this message. Thank you.
It's the Spanish River High School?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you another thing.
Let me just see if there's anything else. They give me a minute. I didn't speak for a minute. I just want to make sure I So that's the agenda number.
A white person said something, I don't know about slavery. There was never slavery in the United States. He'd be out, and he'd have to go to another state.
Absolutely. I guess that's it.
This is Rabbi Yaakov Gibber of the Boca Jewish Center here in Boca Raton in Palm Beach County. I'm calling on behalf of my membership, on behalf of Holocaust survivors in my synagogue, Holocaust survivors around the world, and I, as the grandson of a Holocaust survivor, to give voice to the egregious and the hatred and the awful fact that there's even a hearing to have consideration for a man who undeniably denies the Holocaust, who has sowed the seeds of hatred, the vitriol, and the fact that there is the possibility for which a man who would sit in such a superior position of education as a principal, noting that a historical event like the Holocaust, to say the way he said it is just not only unacceptable, but it is offensive to the Jewish people, and it is offensive to humanity. This man must not remain in his position, and I urge you to please remove him and make a very strong statement.
Hello, my name is Mitch Friedman in Boca Raton, Florida. Regarding the reinstatement of this principal, I think it was a horrible idea. This guy is charged with directing other teachers. Now, how can you have someone who's so uneducated about the worst Holocaust in human history and put him back in school where other teachers would have to rely on him for his opinions? He should permanently be discharged. If any white, and I don't, this is not meaning any racial slur, but if any white principal said there was no slavery or he wasn't sure in the United States, he'd be out of a job in 10 minutes, and he would not be reinstated. So please do the right thing and give this guy another job or take him out of
My name is Hetty Bortnick. I am calling to take a stand against allowing Mr. William Latson to be reinstated in any position as an educator in our school system. I am a first-generation American born. My parents escaped Nazi Germany during the war and immigrated legally to the United States. I am appalled and disgusted that Mr. Latson made such a horrible statement that he isn't sure the Holocaust existed. Many of my family perished in the Holocaust, and it was a systematic killing of European Jews by Nazi Germany. This is a everlasting humanity that must be taught and never forgotten.
My name is Elaine, K-K-A-Y. I'm a retired teacher. I was in the school system for over 36 years. I'm also an active member of the Florida Holocaust Museum in St. Petersburg. I do not think this gentleman needs to be rehired. I think he's a horrible role example for students. And there's so much hatred in this world right now that the idea of someone who denies the Holocaust in any way is not someone that should be in front of kids or in front of teachers. I hope he is not rehired. Thank you.
This is Dr. David and Mrs. Susan Schwartz-Farb. We are proud parents of 4 Spanish River High School graduates. We are calling to request that the Palm Beach County School Board not reinstate Mr. Latson to any position. His apology regarding his Holocaust statement comes far too late. Further, while he acknowledges that his comments were inappropriate, he does not indicate how an educator could make such comments in the first place, nor does he go far enough in stating that he clearly believes that the tragedy of the Holocaust is a well-documented historical fact. It would be a stain on the Palm Beach County school system to have It would be a stain on the Palm Beach County school system if Mr. Latson is an employee in any way. Thank you.
Agenda number BRD2. My name is Myra Feinberg. I'm a Palm Beach County resident, retired school administrator in New Jersey, and I worked for many years in a multicultural environment supervising a great variety of people of all colors and backgrounds. And I want to tell you that I am just horrified, having 4 grandchildren in the public schools here, horrified that it took 2 years for Principal Latson to make his apology. I think it's disgusting that what he said in the first place. There's no place for hatred in the schools. There's no place for anti-Semitism. There's no place for racism. And there's no place for Mr.
Hi, my name is Dr. Zoltan Brody. I would just like to comment in stating that my father survived the Holocaust. His parents didn't. His 2 younger brothers were also murdered in the Holocaust. My mother, who was the youngest of 16 children, 12 of them and their families were murdered in the Holocaust. My father-in-law's 2 children, 2 sons, and wife were also murdered in the Holocaust. If this didn't happen, where are they? I am strongly opposed to a reappointment of any Holocaust denier, such as Principal Latson. He needs an education, and he needs to understand that the truth is more important than fallacious lies. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Bruce Mortman. I have a comment to make about that person, the Holocaust denier. I'm offended by that as a Jew. And, how would he like if we said there was no slavery? It didn't exist. He wouldn't like that either. Now, he doesn't belong working there. He doesn't belong anywhere in the school board. He's a Holocaust denier. And that's my comment. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Naomi Baum. I live in Palm Beach County, and I'm a mother of 2 daughters. And I think very, very strongly that Will Latson should not be reelected as a principal of a school. Such a guy should not be reelected. As a granddaughter to survivors of the Holocaust and heard all what the horrors and what they went through and all the painful and people they lost in their family, I think it's a huge mistake to reelect a person who denies the Holocaust and does not believe in the Holocaust. I heard the apology that he stated, and it was pathetic and did not feel sincere. And I feel very, very strongly as a mother, this person should not be reelected. Thank you, and I hope our message will be heard, and you'll take it into...
Lawrence Bodner, dear board members, this issue of Dr. Latson before the Board of Education is not about color or the Holocaust. He is unfit to be employed in education. Dwight D. Eisenhower and the United States soldiers liberated 20,000 concentration camps, were eyewitnesses and filmed the concentration camps. The Nazis' records were confiscated by the Allies in World War II. The Soviet Union did the same in Auschwitz. This is recorded historical fact. Dr. Latson's lack of knowledge and education makes him unfit for employment in any aspect of education. Thank you from my...
Hello, my name is Anna Skochilas, and I am calling to reiterate that the Holocaust did happen. My grandparents all suffered from the Holocaust, and my grandmother's last words when she was dying was, "Never forget what happened in the Holocaust. It was just not Jewish people. It was just not us. It was everybody that they picked up. Anyone. And this can happen again, especially now in America. Please do not hire the principal back into the student's life. He is not representing the schools properly. He should not have a job around children."
Hi, my name is Nicole Skochilas. The Holocaust did happen. It can't happen to anyone, not just here. And my family went through it, and I don't believe that this guy should be welcomed back to teach after saying that nasty stuff about the Holocaust.
Hi, this is Rosencrantz. I'm a child Holocaust survivor and participant in the March of the Living for 18 times going to Poland and Israel. I just want to say I really feel very strongly about not having Mr. Latson reinstated. He definitely needs to have further education. It is not, the Holocaust is not a subject to be brought up as a question. It is a definitive situation and event. So thank you for hearing me out.
This is Dr. Jaime Alalu. I'm a retired physician who lives in Boca Raton, and I'm completely outraged at the possibility of reinstating Principal Latson to the school due to his obvious anti-Semitic conduct and comments in denying the Holocaust. I hope my voice is heard. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Kenneth Grill. I am a psychologist, and for 26 years, I worked as a school psychologist in the school district, and for many of those years, I worked alongside Dr. William Latson when he was a teacher, and then again for many years when he was the principal at Spanish River High School. I am Jewish and was invited to his wedding so that we enjoyed both a personal and professional relationship during those years, and we had many conversations regarding the prejudice that exists in our culture, and therefore I know that he is not a Holocaust denier, nor is he anti-Semitic. He is a sophisticated, compassionate, talented, and tolerant individual and educator, and I strongly believe that he has been an asset to the school district and that he needs to be in a position of responsibility so that he may continue to contribute to the well-being of the students who attend our schools.
This is Wilma Jakobowitz. I am calling because the Holocaust is a fact, not an opinion. The principal should not be rehired who stated Holocaust denial theories. Again, there's no place for hate and ignorance in our school district. Thank you.
My name is Phyllis Roberts. I'm calling about agenda number BRD2. I would like to say that I'm asking to not rehire this failed principal. Hate and ignorance have no place in the school system. I'm ashamed that you would consider rehiring this kind of person. Thank you.
My name is Ronald Yogman, and I'm a 50-plus year resident of the state of Florida. I'm both embarrassed, amazed, and astonished that someone in the rank of principal could be so ignorant to impact future generations with ignorance regarding the Holocaust. It is beyond belief. Such a person is not even worthy of teaching preschool, in my opinion. I've been around the block. This is not my first rodeo. This individual needs to go back to school and get educated himself. It's a travesty. It's an embarrassment to our entire state, nation, and even globally. Do not make the foolish mistake of re-engaging with this ignorant person.
Hello, my name is William Gregory Vanovic. I have called to express my concern over your consideration of the reinstatement of William Latson. In spite of his apology and denial, I do not believe he has changed his mind on this matter. This is a very serious incident, and in light of the nationwide movement combating racism, I do not feel that this incident should be dismissed. Thank you.
This is Gene Goldberg, and I find it very offensive as somebody interested in history and education to rehire a man who denies historical fact. To deny the Holocaust is like denying D-Day or Stalingrad or Leningrad or Pearl Harbor, or in fact it's like denying slavery or Ku Klux Klan or segregation. It is just not in a principle of teaching historical facts. Should not be reinstated at all. Should not be close to education.
William Latson, you are a disgrace. The Holocaust is real. My family lost relatives during the Holocaust. I have friends that lost family members during the Holocaust. That's like saying slavery is not real and it didn't happen. You should be teaching young children about the Holocaust atrocities that happened during World War II, which should never, ever happen again. You are a disgrace, William Latson. My name is Lane Katz. I am a concerned citizen. I am Jewish. The Holocaust did happen. It's real. Educate, not forget. We all bleed the same color of blood. Remember that.
Sharon Bogard, agenda number BRD2. I am responding to the question of whether William Latson should be rehired, and I say that he should be terminated and his administrative license permanently removed. There is no room in education for his vile, fraudulent lies. An educator is a role model and is supposed to be knowledgeable of history. The history is indisputable. that the Holocaust happened. My family was murdered. Trust me, it is real. Such behavior and such indifference, intolerable.
My name is Richard Greenberg. I urge the board to consider that if it has sufficient evidence that will support removal of Mr. Latson, that it should continue firing him unless it feels that it does not have sufficient grounds legally, either substantively or procedurally. I cannot imagine any educator not being able to confirm that the Holocaust occurred. If you continue him in your employ, I urge you to have him in a position where he can learn about the Holocaust and then be able to present it as an educator to students, showing that it actually did happen.
This is Helen Rosenfeld, and I'm calling to lead my comments regarding the Palm Beach County School Board to rescind its decision to rehire the Holocaust denier William Latson. That's a form of anti-Semitism to have that Holocaust denial. Young people are dangerously ignorant about the Holocaust, and to have someone deny it is truly it's a form of evil. As well as county tax dollars should not be used to condone Holocaust denial. The school board is an entrusted entity, and to have Latson hired is really outrageous. Thank you. Bye.
My name is Martin Moskowitz. I live in Boca Raton, and I was born in Germany. Both my parents lived through and suffered in the Holocaust, and their emotional grief cannot be described. Dr. Latson's apology, I believe, is only to save his job. I believe this can occur and should be put into consideration only if he goes to every Holocaust museum in the United States, goes to Israel, to Yad Vashem, and tours it, then visits every decimated cemetery and community in Eastern Europe. Then he should write a description of what he saw and he learned. Then and only then would I reconsider his job.
Hi, my name is Ellie Green. I'm calling about the vote to reinstate Principal Latson, and I'm really disappointed that you would excuse his behavior of denying the Holocaust and saying that he can't say it as fact. This is promoting anti-Semitism, and it won't be tolerated. There are Jewish students in the school that have already come up and said they are fearful in school because of it. He's igniting this new wave of people denying that Jews were persecuted, and I think that it's abhorrent that someone running a school, a principal, can make comments like that, and just with a fake, phony apology 2 years later, reading off a script, is now considered as a viable candidate to run a school full of children. We need to educate our children to accept people and not to deny our past, so that they are able to be tolerant and respect